Okay, welcome today, guys. I am Juwan Lammy, and today we'll be discussing business ethics with Professor Lammy. We'll be discussing business ethics, the mechanisms that make it work, and what happens when there's a lack of business ethics. So, the first principle that we must understand before we can move on with anything is that people are evil, point blank. All right, maybe I'm being a little extra, right? But maybe we could say people intrinsically tend to be selfish. I ain't gonna spell intrinsically, but they tend to be selfish, right? Why do we have sayings like the root of all evil is money? Why do we have sayings such as absolute power absolutely corrupts, right? Why is it that we have bullying? Why is it that we have exploitation on every level? I think it's because, and I rest my case, it's just simple. We'll just leave it at this. People are evil, okay? So now we must ask, how do we protect ourselves? What are some ways to prevent people's inherent nature of doing things that only benefits them, but at the cost of other people? How do we do stuff like that? Well, we got 3 principles and 3 mechanisms that I made up that nobody ever thought about, right? First, we need a rule book, some type of framework that everybody knows, everybody's aware of, and it's written down, right? Then we need people to enforce it. The government, police, people that punish people for overstepping these rules. And finally, and the most important, we need people. People. There's power in the people. And as soon as both of these start going off, or one of them go off, it's the people that keeps the governors in check. It's the people that uphold the Constitution. It's always the people, right? It's the people, a rule book, some type of framework, and the government enforcers that keep things steady. And without these 3 things, without these 3 mechanisms, a nation is doomed to fail. That's why when we look at nations that rank on the lower end of the political corruption system, countries like Venezuela, the most corrupt countries are also the poor countries, are countries that are, in poverty. You'll always see this pattern. But when we look at Switzerland, countries that are uniformly good people, right? We know that, these Swedens, these Switzerland, these Denmark dudes, good people, great government, right? And great enforcers. Not too authoritarian, not too harsh, but not too lax. You need to have a just balance, and you definitely need all 3. A lack of one of them cause a society to fall, point blank. Now we'll discuss a country that failed to do all 3. Right? Kenya. They've been in poverty since how long, right? Mostly because of corruption. You got people pocketing money, right? They're not using the money that they get to put into infrastructures, into libraries, to schools, into actual buildings that'll help uplift their people. They're just pocketing it, right? Thank God America isn't like that, but that's what they're doing. So here comes, some huge companies, right? They're like, wow, we can help these people. You know what I mean? Because, people are so good, right? They're like, man, this is a nation that we want to help. So they come, the leading people over there, they wanted to actually attract these people. So they lowered their labor laws, right? Made it a little bit easier for them to do what they want to do, right? Make it more attractive to come, right? And then they provided, of course, financial incentives, right? But 60% of the population is unemployed. The workforce is completely oversaturated. These AI tech companies then say, well, hey, a job that pays normally $30, right? You're working with AI. A job that normally pays $30, we're gonna charge $2 for. Being on the brink of survival, they did what they had to do, so they were willing to work for $2. And business ethics comes into place because then you have to say to yourself, well, a job that normally pays $30, right? Meaning it takes a skill level of a guy that paid, it takes that kind of level, right? They're willing to pay other people in poorer nations $2 for it because of the lax labor laws. Can we not see how it's like a 3-part way, right? Because the government changed the rules and the people capitulated, they just listened, then this allowed bullying, point blank. But once again, we seen with the Kenyans, right? They broke all three of the fundamentals. They broke the rules, the framework, by having the government lower the labor laws. The labor laws were then lowered, right? Which then the companies took advantage of, right? The laws that were used to protect people, companies took advantage of it and they pay these people way, way, way less. And who runs off? Who gets to win? The bullies, the exploiters, the people at the top. We already know we're gonna get to a situation like this. We seen where we rank on the corruption scale, right? Sooner or later, we're gonna be just like them Kenyans, right? But we're not as bad, right? We have a constitution that still protects us, right? That people still abide by, right? We still have that. But we keep letting these dudes right here bully us. They're slowly and slowly and slowly gonna diminish the value of this, diminish the value of the Constitution, and then it'll become to a dictatorship where they'll have no problems killing a group of people if they need to make a point. All right, guys, I'm in the clip right now. I was kind of just going crazy, I ain't gonna lie, but I just really wanted you guys to understand how wicked things can get, right? Think about the president of Mexico. She became the president because a lot of her political oppositions, they died overnight. Haiti, like, things can get wicked really quick, and it all happens because people just stop defending themselves, you feel me? People stop standing for what's right. It always starts with people. If people don't have ethics, then don't expect the government to have ethics because they're going to do whatever. But look at me, I'm just yapping, man. I'm going to end the video. Y'all have a good night or day.